21 First-rate cheap date ideas. These cheap date ideas are by no means second-rate. If you're a real romantic, you know that romantic living need not be expensive. Rather, it's simple, but a little involved, as you'll see in these 21 cheap romantic date ideas. What makes a date romantic is not how extravagant the price tag is, but how much you reveal of yourself and how creatively you interact with one another. Most free romantic date ideas are far more enjoyable than their pay counterparts. These cheap date ideas require something of your creative, and sometimes wild and risky side. One or two are downright outrageous. You'll enjoy. Cheap date idea number 1. Pay your local library a visit and ask the librarian where you can read aloud. Choose an engaging mystery or steamy romance and spend the afternoon reading aloud to one another. Cheap date idea number 2. Take 2 pads of lined paper, some nice pens, and visit a quiet coffee shop. Order 2 cappuccinos and write the stories of your lives. After 1 hour, read them aloud to one another. Then ask lots of questions. Cheap date idea number 3. Take a digital camera, go to a downtown or busy area of town and make believe that you are paparazzi, gathering as many candid shots of interesting people as you can. Next date, see number 4. Cheap date idea number 4. Upload your paparazzi shots which you took in number 3 to a computer either at home or at an internet cafe and write fantastic or crazy news stories incorporating the photos. Email them to a friend or post them on a free website and send friends a link. Cheap date idea number 5. Take some nice watercolor paper or sketch pads with brushes, paints and pencils and go to a town square or park. Situate yourself at a table or bench and find something beautiful in your surrounding to paint or sketch. Sign and exchange your works and post them at home or work. Cheap date idea number 6. Here's a romantic date idea for when you don't know one another well. Go to a cemetery where your relatives are buried, plant flowers and share with your sweetheart some stories about your family history. Cheap date idea number 7. Take bicycles or rollerblades, pack a lunch and choose an easy trail ride or wander through some country roads. Stop often when you find something interesting to look at or just to rest and talk. Cheap date idea number 8. Visit an art museum, conservatory or botanical garden and pretend it's your first date. Unless of course it is your first date, then you won't need to pretend. Stop to sit on every bench, hold hands and kiss. Cheap date idea number 9. Get tickets to a local high school or college musical or drama performance. Ask the stars of the show for their autographs on your program. Afterward, go for a walk in the dark. Cheap date idea number 10. When in season, go to a strawberry patch or apple orchard and pick a few baskets of your own. Have a cup of coffee and enjoy some of your freshly picked fruit. Finally, return home with your produce and create a special fresh fruit in season dessert. Cheap date idea number 11. Visit an invalid or elderly person in your neighborhood and plant some flowers in their yard or flower box for them. Stop in and share a cup of tea to brighten their day. Cheap date idea number 12. Stay home. If you're married with children, send the kids out to a babysitter and just stay home. Order some Chinese takeout, leave the TV off and spend some really intimate time together. Cheap date idea number 13. Make a trip to the grocery store and pick up some creative pizza ingredients. Take your groceries home and assemble your masterpiece pizza together. Choose a CD of music from your youth, light candles and enjoy. Cheap date idea number 14. Check with your local parks and recreation for the schedule of summer dramatic and musical performances in the parks. Prepare a picnic supper, take in the concert, then go for a quiet stroll after the show. Cheap date idea number 15. Get your school district's community education program literature and choose a class on a subject about which you know absolutely nothing. Attend together. You'll be surprised at what you've been missing. Cheap date idea number 16. Check your yellow pages for the locations of 2 or 3 used bookstores. Visit them together and unearth some literary treasures. Stop at a coffee shop and examine your finds over a cappuccino. Cheap date idea number 17. Pick up your Sunday newspaper and look up the local parade of new homes. Get in the car and visit 3 of the most expensive homes, making believe that you're really rich. Be careful that you don't sign anything. Afterward, stop at a service station to pick up their 3 for $1 hot dog special and a Coke. Cheap date idea number 18. Call your local college or university and inquire about their film society schedule. Take in a screening of a foreign or art film and join the discussion group afterward. You'll enjoy the departure from the usual theater and DVD fare. Cheap date idea number 19. Take your digital camera, choose 10 or 12 unusual or even bizarre locations and ask a stranger at each location to take a picture of the 2 of you. Go home and prepare an album of your day out or post them on a free website and send friends a link. Cheap date idea number 20. Go to a second-hand clothing store together and select an outfit for each other without the other knowing what it is. Exchange outfits and change into them. Go out for an inexpensive romantic dinner and find out how merciful, or not, the other is. Cheap date idea number 21. Here's our simplest, yet most traditional and romantic cheap date idea. On a hot August night, take a stroll to your favorite ice cream shop. Get a cone or sundae and stroll down the city street to check out the shop windows. Add your own, but mostly be together. Enjoy your dates.